And the topic tonight is foreign influence in Africa. Foreign influence in Africa, that is P7 work. We looked at foreign influence in East Africa, which was P6 work. Now, but in P7, we go to foreign influence in Africa. Africa is a continent, or rather, foreign influence in the African continent. We see that Africa is a continent. A continent, this is a large mass of land surrounded by large water bodies. As earlier, we had looked at foreign influence in Africa, and we looked at the different groups of foreigners who came to Africa. Among these groups, these early visitors who came to Africa, we had traders. Then group number 2, we had the explorers. Group number 3, we had the missionaries. Group number 4, we had the colonialists. Colonialists stroke administrators. And number 4 and number 5, we had the settlers. These were one of the different groups of foreigners who came to Africa. In our earlier explanation, we explained a foreigner. And we say a foreigner, this is a person who is not a citizen of a particular country, is referred to as a foreigner. A person who is not a citizen of that particular country. For example, if we get visitors from America, from any other country, you can mention, but when he's not a citizen of Uganda, that one becomes a foreigner. We define foreign influence as the changes that were brought up by different visitors who came to Africa. And among these, we had looked at traders. With the traders, we had the Arab traders and the Indian traders. So these traders, they came to Africa with their different aims. But today, we are going to look at explorers. We shall look at explorers. And these explorers, they are people who came from another country they traveled from another country to another country, or they traveled from their homeland to another country to search for information, as the definition of of explorers. The people, an explorer is a person who travels from his or her country to another country to search for information. That's the definition of an explorer. An explorer is a person who travels from his or her country to another country to search for information. For many years, Africa was not known to the outside world, but we had a group of people who made that prophecy that Africa wasn't known to the outside world to become true. Now Africa, as they came, Africa was known to the outside world. One of the reasons why Africa was not known to the outside world was that Africa little was known about its interior. They always ask this question: why was Africa? Why was Africa known as a dark continent by Europeans. Why was Africa known as a dark continent by Europeans? This is the expected answer why Africa was known as a dark continent by the Europeans. Little was known about its interior. My dear learners, from P5 you have seen this. For the Europeans, they knew little about Africa. They thought that Africa was a darker continent. In their minds, they thought that Africa was a country which was full of people, but who are savages, who are wild animals, who are not hospitable. But when they came, what they had in their mind wasn't true. It was referred to as a darker continent by the European nation because little was known about its interior. That's the reason why Africa was referred to as a dark continent. Another related question. Still, these explorers, they were one of the first group of Europeans. Explorers were the first group of Europeans to come to Africa. They always ask such a question. Who were the first group of Europeans to come to Africa? Those were the explorers. Then similarly, there is another question which is related to that. Who were the first group of foreigners to come to Africa? These were the Arabs. There is also this question, who were the first group of Europeans to come to Africa? These ones, they were the explorers. As the answer, these were the explorers, not the spellings. Then another similar question, question number 2. Who were the first group of foreigners to come to Africa? And these were the Arab traders. These were the Arab traders. The first group of Europeans, they were the explorers. The first group of foreigners, these ones, they became to be known as the Arab traders. These Arab traders from primary 6, primary 5, we looked at their course as they were coming to Africa. These Arab traders came from the continent of Asia. They came from the continent. For these ones came from Asian continent. They came from the continent of Asia, whereas these explorers, for these ones, they came from Europe, the continent of Europe. That's why Europeans, people from Europe, they are Europeans. Then the first foreigners, these were they were the Arab traders who came from Asia. We are looking at explorers. And I said in the definition in the beginning, I told you that explorers, these are people. They came to Africa to find information about Africa. And we are going to see why Europeans took long to enter the interior of Africa. Why Europeans took long to enter the interior of Africa. There are reasons why Europeans took long to enter the interior of Africa. There is the first why they were calling it as a darker continent, because they had not reached in its interior. These were one of the reasons why the Europeans took long to enter, or rather to reach the interior of East Africa. One of the reasons is number one, Africa had hostile tribes. Hostile tribes. The hostile tribes, they were a threat to these people, these visitors, or rather the explorers. For example, in primary 6 we looked at the explorers. Why they never passed through Kenya, but they went through Tanzania at a place called Bagamoyo. There are reasons why they could not enter through Tanzania. One of the reasons were the hostile tribes. And these hostile tribes, we had the Nandi. The Nandi people, Nandi and the Maasai. The Nandi and the Maasai. They were a threat. They were very hostile. Even some of they feared them, that some of them, they were cannibals. They thought that they were cannibals. They could eat them. In science, you know the carnivorous animals. These are animals which feed on others. They eat. Human beings eating other fellow human beings, that is cannibalism. Once a fellow human being and eat another fellow human being, that we call that we were cannibals. So there are some tribes who they thought, like for example in Tanzania, we had the Zimba tribe. They were cannibals. Some years back, they could eat other fellow human beings. So, hostile tribes, these were one of the reasons which hindered these people to enter the interior of East Africa. Another reason, dangerous wild animals. Dangerous wild animals. Africa had, long ago, Africa had dangerous wild animals. They were a threat to these visitors who were just coming to Africa. For example, the tigers, the lions, and other endangered species of animals, just mentioned but a few, they were a problem to these people. So, it was one of the factors that hindered the penetration of the Europeans into the interior of Africa. Another reason, Africa, the thick forests. Thick forests. These thick forests, they were very difficult to go through. They were impenetrable. Hence, making the movement of these explorers, all these visitors, very difficult to enter the interior of Africa. So, one of the problems they faced why they took long to enter into the interior of Africa, we have the hostile tribes, the dangerous wild animals, the thick forests, even we have the rough terrain. Rough terrain. Spelling. Rough terrain is T-E-R-R-A-I-N. The rough roads, by that time, or we can say the poor roads. Can stock it with poor roads. There were no developed road network. Hence, they were facing problems with going through the thick forests, going through the high mountains, the hills, the valleys, crossing rivers. That's the rough terrain within the interior of Africa was also a problem to these explorers who came to Africa. Let's look at another case study. Why Europeans explorers came to Africa? Why these Europeans explorers, why did they come to Africa? They had their reasons why they came to Africa. As we saw them early in primary 6 and primary 5, these European explorers, they had reasons why they came to Africa. One of the major and important reasons why these explorers came to Africa was to find the source of River Nile, to find the source of River Nile. River Nile is one of the physical features which attracted many explorers to come to Africa. They always ask that question, which important physical features attracted many European explorers to come to Africa? That was River Nile. Then number 2, to study geography, to study the geography of Africa. They can study the geography of Africa. 3, to find trade opportunities. To find trade opportunities. To open way for missionaries. Number 4, to open way for missionaries. And lastly, for prestige. For prestige. They came because of these reasons. Find the source of River Nile, one of the features which attracted them. To study the geography of Africa, to find trade opportunities, to open way for the missionaries. We know very well that explorers are the people who paved the way or opened the way for the coming of the missionaries, and for prestige. Others, they wanted to gain that feminines. They wanted to get that respect. The more times they came to Africa, the more respect they gained. As I come back, we shall look at the Portuguese explorers in Africa. So, thank you very much for listening. I love you very much. Bye-bye.